With fans outraged and more, this is Pro Wrestling Central. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Taking to social media, AEW star Britt Baker gave her take on the Shamrock Shake from McDonald's.
Alright, so as a McDonald's junkie, I think it's criminal that I've never actually had the Shamrock Shake, and you guys hype it up so much, so I just went through the drive-thru specifically for the Shamrock Shake, except I kind of cheated. They have the McFlurry version with Oreos in it, so I got that, so I'm going to try it right now. Right here, live. It's even melted a little bit because I waited to be authentic, so here we are. What? Alright. Official quote from Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, send it to the dirt sheets. The Shamrock Shake is ass. And I will never get it ever again, and neither should you. We need to get rid of this. We can't be tarnishing the legacy that is McDonald's with this shit. Get it out of here. Get it out of our solar system. My God.
Going over the role of Bryan Danielson in AEW, Ringside News wrote that Bryan Danielson's wrestling future remains uncertain as he battles a serious neck injury, but that hasn't kept him away from AEW. According to PWInsider.com, the American Dragon was backstage at this week's Dynamite, continuing his behind-the-scenes work with the company. Danielson, who hasn't wrestled since dropping the AEW World Championship to Jon Moxley at Wrestle Dynasty, has been undergoing stem cell therapy in an effort to avoid surgery. Despite being off TV, Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful confirmed that Danielson has remained active in AEW's creative process. There were a lot of people in the Fightful Select Discord asking me about Danielson being backstage. I have an interview with Danielson that I haven't released yet because there hasn't been a need to. There's nothing timely about it. It was in Dallas at the All-In ticketing event. We had some filming issues, but I've recovered it and will probably release it Revolution Week. While Danielson hasn't confirmed his in-ring future, he did tell Sapp that he will be involved in AEW All In this year in some capacity. He told me he's around a bit, that he's still working with AEW, and that he'll be at All In. He just doesn't know in what capacity, but this isn't out of the ordinary for him to be backstage. I don't think he's going to be there all the time, but he is still working with AEW, I believe, in a creative capacity. As for his recovery, Danielson's status remains unclear. I don't know if he's going through rehab on his neck or if he had surgery or whatever it may be. I know he wanted to rehab it, but this is just something that's kind of common for him at this stage. It's not out of the ordinary for him to be backstage. Recalling how he was denied entry to Egypt, Logan Paul said this on his YouTube channel. Mr. Beast just uploaded a new video exploring the pyramids or something, and I love the pyramids, so I was like, Jimmy, can I come? And he was like, for sure, dude. Then a week later, he called me and was like, dude, unfortunately, the Egyptian government said that you can't come. Otherwise, we can't come. And I was like, wait, what? I know I pissed people off at the Egyptian government. I've never even been to Egypt. Why can't I come to the pyramid, Jimmy? He said, I don't know. The government specifically said you are the only person that cannot come on this trip. Providing information on Shane McMahon's talks with AEW, Ringside News wrote that new details have emerged about Shane McMahon's failed talks with AEW, and it turns out Tony Khan simply never followed up after their July 29th, 2024 meeting, according to Fightful Select. A source close to McMahon confirmed that Khan made no effort to continue discussions after their private meeting near Arlington Airport. While rumors swirled that McMahon had asked for equity in the company, the source couldn't confirm that, but did acknowledge that Shane wanted wanted to run things. The issue? McMahon didn't have the product knowledge or familiarity with AEW's business model to back it up. It seemed like Khan almost thought Shane was joking when he mentioned the possibility of running everything, the source said. Despite AEW's lack of response, Shane apparently didn't take it personally and understood that nothing was going to come from the talks. The source added that McMahon views his experience in wrestling as valuable after witnessing years of fans and industry figures wanting a non-Vince McMahon figure to take control. From AEW's side, sources stated that Tony Khan never talked much about the meeting, only mentioning that the two sides had met and that nothing was in the works. Those we've spoken to within AEW say that Tony Khan hadn't spoken about it extensively outside of noting that the two sides simply met and aren't working together. However, one possibility isn't completely off the table: a one-time cameo. The source close to McMahon that we spoke with claimed that they wouldn't rule out a cameo appearance, but didn't think they would extensively do business together at this stage. So while McMahon's AEW talks went absolutely nowhere, the door for a one-off appearance isn't completely shut. Confirming that he is getting ready for his final match in professional wrestling, WWE Hall of Famer Bill Goldberg told CarCast, "I have a match sometime this summer. I don't know exactly when it is, but I know it's coming up, and I know at 58 years old I have to be in my underwear in front of everybody, and I hold a very high standard of myself. I feel like $1 trillion. Whether it's from the stuff that I altered my life prior or the stem cell treatment after a day, I feel like $1 million comparatively. You have to be logical, but it's like you're a racehorse again and you're being held in a stall and you can't come out for a period of time." The February 21st episode of Friday Night SmackDown was already set to be a massive show, with The Rock making his return, but WWE's decision to cut a scheduled women's match to make room for him has sparked a viral movement online, following reports that WWE's women's division has been frustrated with its booking heading into WrestleMania 41. Fans took to Twitter/X on Friday to voice their anger. The hashtag WWE Women Deserve Better exploded on social media, gaining even more traction after it was revealed that Naomi vs. Liv Morgan was pulled from the show. One user didn't hold back, writing, "Canceling a women's match just for a man who shows up once a year to talk rubbish is part of the reason the hashtag WWE Women Deserve Better is trending so massively. It's so disrespectful to the women of this company to be pushed aside once again for men. Do better." Another post took direct aim at WWE's creative decision, saying, "They just cut Naomi vs. Liv for The Rock. F this. WWE Women Deserve Better, Triple H." Many fans pointed out that NXT, despite being a 2-hour show, consistently finds time to spotlight its women's division, while SmackDown, which has 3 hours, failed to keep a single women's match on the card. NXT is far from perfect in my opinion, but at least they do a great job at giving both men and women's divisions equal time in a 2-hour show. SmackDown has 3 hours. There's no reason for this to be cut, even with Dwayne. The backlash also extended to Triple H, who oversees WWE's creative direction. One user called out his decision-making, saying, "The audacity of Triple H is actually insane to me. This man knows that WWE Women Deserve Better has been trending since yesterday and decides to cut the only women's match to make space for The Rock. F this man." While WWE has been pushing for change in its women's division, moments like this reinforce why fans remain skeptical. Cutting a women's match to accommodate The Rock's return, especially when the division has already been vocal about its frustration, only adds fuel to the fire. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all later.